welcome to another live stream from Time to Go. This week we have Nige from Tojj29. Wave Nige, hello. We've got Howie from Howie702. And we've got Andy from Andy GSA Tractor. Thanks for coming along, Andy, today. Pleasure to see you, of course.
Welcome.
It's always nice to have different guests on here. We like to vary it quite a bit, and it's nice to see new people, really. So today, how should we start today? Has anybody been out for some nice ride? The weather's getting better in it to start with. Everybody should have been out for some decent rides, I hope. Let me just put the comments aren't on for some reason. Why are they not on? We've got no comments. Let me just show that.
I can see stuff coming up on the side. There
you go. Yeah, they're going up on the right.
Are they going up on the right? Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
I had a lovely ride yesterday with this bloke. Can't remember his name
I
now.
didn't. The bloke I went out with was a right pain in the ass.
Was he? What did he do?
We saw that. Yeah, we saw them ride along. That was a short ride, wasn't it? What were you doing? We testing out things, I guess.
I don't know. He's just having a breakfast, and this bloke turns up and he starts dragging me around all over Dorset. I didn't really want to. I just wanted to get back there.
So I was down in Poole and Bournemouth last week. What day was it? Yeah, beginning of last week. I was down that way.
Cool. How far is that from where you are, Andy? Is it quite a way?
I can get down there about an hour and 40, hour and 50 minutes, I suppose. Down at the Bournemouth in about an hour and 50 minutes. From here to Southampton is about an hour and a half. So, yeah, about an hour and 50 minutes.
Are you on the comment? Just a quick question. Are you on the comments, Nige? So I don't want to click them when you're clicking. You all right?
Yeah, well, if I do them then, and then we won't.
Oh, I'm clicking, so that's perfect. That's why. Brilliant. We've got Steve here. Why isn't Steve on the channel? Is he busy or something?
Steve's having trouble with his internet at the minute. It's like snail mail. He's he lives in a mud hut, doesn't he? In this sleepy recluse in deepest, darkest Dorset, and I think somebody's cut the bamboo cane to his hut.
Wow. Well, I've got a question this week which has been burning in my brain for a while. It's about all the different type of motorbike riders that you get. You get the fair weather riders, the ones that only take the bike out in the good weather, and they'll be all coming out now. When you're riding out to work and things, or you're going on a ride, you'll suddenly see a lot more bikers on the road. A lot of it's because a lot of them only ride in the good weather. You get the commuters who commute to work. Be interesting to know if anybody's in the side chat. Leave your comments there as to what sort of rider you are, and we'll have a chat about that.
You can usually tell by what sort of bike they're on. I mean, Harleys with lots of chrome, they're not going out in the rain, are they?
No, I wouldn't either if I had that.
Ducatis, they're not going out in the rain because they'll pack up the first time a raindrop hits it.
Well, it's electric, isn't it? They get wet, and that's it. There'll be sparks and all sorts coming outside of them.
We've done the ride of Ides last week with Revbomb, and when we done the ride, it was great. And then when we all left, you should have seen them abandoning the car park because the clouds started building. When we left, it was absolutely hammering it down. So we rode home from Oxford. It took us about an hour. Absolute torrential rain, but there was 4 of us riding back. We just had a blast. Yeah. You know, once you're out in it and you're in the right gear, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't mind riding in the rain, but I prefer to go out on a nice day when it's not wet.
Everybody
if it does rain, I prefer it to rain when I'm coming home, if you know what I mean. You know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I love my touring, so I have to go out regardless of what it's doing, snowing or whatever. When you're away, you're away. You've got no choice. But everyone wants to ride in the sunshine, don't they?
Oh yeah,
it's nicer. I mean, you ask any motorcyclist which you prefer, riding when it's really freezing cold and wet and horrible and windy and damp, and they'll 9 times they're going to say, yeah, I prefer to drive on a ride on a nice warm sunny day because it's lovely. It's grippy. Exactly. You're enjoying yourself, you can wear your leathers rather than a great big load of textile waterproofs and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I don't do leathers. I look like a Teletubby. I wear leathers.
As you see, Monkey would say in there that generally he doesn't ride when it's salty, which is probably a good idea. If you've got a brand new bike especially, you'd probably only go out on it and you'd wait for a bit until you take it out in the rain on salty weather, would you? Or you'd take it straight out?
I don't know.
You'd be clean afterwards.
It's the importance of protection, though, isn't it? I mean, a decent coating of XCP or ACF 50, whatever you prefer to use. Yeah. And then when you get back, just rinse it off. I mean, the problems lie when you leave salt on your bike and you leave it to sit there while it's damp and wet and cold, and you're leaving it on there, and then over time it's going to corrode. Anything's going to corrode, but with the right protection, if you apply it every year, it shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, you're all right. You've got the special.
I had a ceramic coat done, and
ceramic
the engine and everything was covered with XCP, which I do every year. But just rinse it off.
Yeah, as long as the water, as long as there's no salt on it, you're all right, aren't you?
I mean, the thing is, with the winter months, there's some lovely days riding to be had in the winter months, even though it's a bit chilly. You get some really nice days during the winter sometimes, and it's just a shame to leave your bike locked up in the garage and not go out on it.
Yeah. Well, another thing is I've got the NT 1100 and CB 125. The 125, I use it for work every single day, regardless of the weather. I'd ride that in anything, ice, snow, and salt. It doesn't bother me. But the NT 1100, that's been in the garage for quite a while, and I took it out yesterday, and the battery was flat. Yeah, so I even though I've got a charger for it to actually keep it topped up, it wasn't plugged in. So I had to.
Going back a few years, lots of people would have a winter hack. Your best bike, if you had a Ducati or a Harley, whatever, you rode that when the weather was great. But you had your winter hack, your old shitter that you got out. You didn't mind taking it out in the rain. And you probably only ever washed it once or twice in a year. And it's like your chuck away bike kind of thing, for want of a better word. The one you're going to keep it a couple of years and then sell it on, and just replace it. Just get an old second-hand bike as your second bike.
But realistically,
we do that nowadays.
Like you said, I know friends that used to have a winter hack and everything else, but realistically now is running two bikes practical with insurance costs, and everything else. I mean, if you've got it, that's fine. If you've got 2 or 3 bikes, you only ride every now and then, and they're low mileage insurance and this, that, and the other. But everything's gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Everything's so expensive. I mean, I get through on the GS. I get through 3 sets of tyres a year. We were talking about this earlier, and that's about £1,000 with fitting.
Yeah.
A year just on tyres.
Yeah.
And then you're talking £700-800 on servicing. Now, if you're doing that, all right, you won't be doing. You're probably doing 2 sets. But if you've got another bike that's going to need brakes, servicing, and everything else, it's just too much.
My insurance is due soon as well.
Whoa, don't get me started on insurance. I've put a link up there to Steve's channel. Steve's out in Spain.
Yeah.
So obviously he gets good weather.
Yes.
There's I think it's his latest video on the channel. Go take a look at that. Go give him a like on it, subscribe. Sure he'd appreciate that. But he's showing all the floods and that they've had out there recently. So he's only just been able to get back out on the bike. But 90% of the time he's blessed with sort of brilliant weather out there. You jammy bugger.
You're lucky, aren't you? Some of the rides he does as well out there is something that's really, really nice, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Always. And his bike's always nice and clean. Perfect. Never a spot on it. You probably polished it a lot as well, I guess. Brilliant.
Look at that. Rides a GS at work.
Yeah.
Lovely. See, I got the Road 6s on mine, and remember this, and I was bitching and moaning because they weren't the GTs on there. And I didn't realise that they've done away with the GTs.
Done away with the GTs when they went from Road 5s.
Yeah. So
if you order a set in our size, then they're reinforced walls anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was just confusing people, so they know what bike you want. Nah. For me, it's like I put up on one of the GS groups, and they're saying, "Oh, you've got the GS and you ain't got off-road tyres." I'm like, I don't go off-road. Why would I put off-road tyres on it?
Yeah, true.
I got better way of. I mean, when I first got the bike, it had I think it was 70/30s, had the Michelin Anarchies, and like they were shot in 2,000 miles. 2 up riding on off-road tyres kills the tyre, shot, gone. So yeah. I don't ride off road, so I don't need off road tyres.
No. I've only had 1 set of tyres on mine, but I've never done any miles on mine. I've only done about 2,000 miles, 2,500 miles on mine. So be a while. I think when I go up that route up to Scotland, that peaks and passes that we're going to be doing, I think I'll wear my tyres out on that journey.
Have
Bit
you
long
seen
experience,
that?
everything.
You're going to the Lake District, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen the super mosque they're building up there?
Super moths.
A mosque.
Super
They're
moth.
building a super mosque.
Oh,
Yeah, so
no.
if you take your prayer mats, you'll be well in.
Might need some prayers if I'm going over them passes on the NT 1100 before I
You'll
do.
be all
Yeah, you
right.
can all pull over at the side of the road and bless yourself before you go up.
You'll have an NT 750 by then.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I'm looking at one of them actually. I'm looking at
They're, they're,
trading them.
they're easy. You're worrying about nothing.
Yeah,
I've done them too, uploaded with luggage.
yeah,
Just take your time, make sure it's clear before you get to the difficult stuff, and you'll be fine.
yeah, yeah. I will go. We'll see how it goes on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to look forward to that. That's my first. You've obviously been on a few tours, haven't you, Andy?
Just a few.
Just a
Just a
few.
few. Yeah.
Yeah, 14 countries and probably about 100 or 1,000 miles. Yeah, just a
Yeah, so
few.
that's another type of rider, isn't it? When we're talking about different types of riders, your fair weather riders. If you've been a person who likes touring, you do that a lot. That's probably your main thing you do. You obviously ride in all sorts of weathers now. You don't worry about that sort of thing.
No, I mean, we've been away. Obviously, we go everywhere. I mean, and I've been away in June and July, and we've had snow up some of the passes in June. It's been -2, snowing, can't see 10 feet, and then when you get to the bottom in the afternoon, it's 27 degrees. The
Yeah,
weather lately, anywhere in the world, is absolutely balmy. You
yeah,
know, and you can get caught out. You can get caught out in June, July, August up these passes. I mean, when you're going up to sort of 9, 10,000 feet, the weather can change in a heartbeat.
yeah,
So just be prepared for it all. But it's you just got to be sensible with your riding.
yeah.
And just take your time. Give
How
yourself
high?
more time to stop.
How high's them peaks, Nige? Do you know that we're going over? They're not that sort of high, I don't think.
No, they're just little bumps.
Little bumps in the road. That's what we want. So we don't want any more than that. Not if I'm
It
riding.
doesn't matter what you do. Even if you're going to the shops, if you're on two wheels and you're enjoying yourself, it don't matter.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's what I think. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we've got plenty
How
of people.
many of you going on your little jaunt?
I think it's 30 so far, isn't it, Nige? In the pack.
Well, them caravans are cheap.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. No, I think it's 4, isn't it? I think at the moment. 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
So-
four's enough. Four's about right. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to take a group of anything up to 12 or 10 away every year. And just a fuel stop would take you 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, ex-rider. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Has anyone watched Steve's video today?
Yes,
Oh,
I
Yeah, I
did.
saw it.
Yes.
He's having to go back to the 9 to 5 in the graph, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
just
working
sorry to
mad.
hear that, Steve.
God.
Yeah. It's terrible, really, isn't it? When
Joys of this country at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. And
He
that's
should
why
retire like us, Nige.
Hey,
The thing
Yeah.
is,
He should retire like us.
it's a toss up between working for yourself and obviously if your industry's struggling in what you do, or working for someone else and providing a steady income.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to look at the bigger picture, haven't you? To
yeah,
start
needs
with.
must.
I mean,
Yeah.
the way this country's gone at the minute. I mean, did you see that MP? He's claiming £900 a month of taxpayers' money to look after his cat in his second home.
Bloody amazing.
I mean, what?
it's
How they
obviously
get away with it?
it's obviously wrong, isn't it? So why don't they do something about it? Why do you not? It's what can they do? That's the thing.
That we need to sack them all, and they need to be everyday working people. And
Yeah.
you get your wage that they earn 90,000 pound a year.
Yeah.
They should pay for their own stuff out of that. All right, if you've got travelling expenses, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you've got a second home, why the hell are we paying for your second home that you're not even sitting in?
You shouldn't have to. Absolutely not.
No, it's madness. I think the problem with our government at the moment, they're all millionaires and they're all out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, why are you keeping your cat at your second home? Why haven't you got your cat living with you?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Somebody can claim £900 for a cat he probably ain't got.
God, there's a dream job for you. Look, taking 18 to Wales, 12 to France, 14 to Ireland, and 28 to Scotland. Job and a half, that, isn't it? I presume
I
you
used to
do
enjoy
tours.
taking groups away, but I just love it when it's just me and the missus now. I've stopped taking groups away as such, and it just gives us so much more freedom to do what we want to do. and yeah, I think it'll be a while before I decide to take groups away again.
Yeah. So, any more? If anybody else has got any tips on tours and things for me, basically, because I think Nigel, you've been on a couple of tours, haven't you?
Mm.
You've done them before. You quite got it. I think how have you done any? Howie, you've done a few tours and things.
I did in my youth. I just used to go off in a direction and just keep on going for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Just on the bike before I was married. In my youth, I used to do loads of stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just finding the time and the money and the cost of accommodation. And I can't camp these days because it's just
I mean,
too bloody much.
I'm with you on that. I mean, we used to budget anywhere between 100 and 150 pound a day when we toured. Now I budget anywhere between 250 and 300 pound a day.
Wow.
Purely because if you think you've got 40, 50 quid worth of fuel, if you're doing 300 odd miles a day, you've got 120 to 130 pound for accommodation, and then on top of that, you've got meals for 2 people and everything else. It can get really expensive. I mean, I've got a 16-day tour and a 14-day tour, and I've had to budget £8,000.
Wow. That's only one, isn't it? One tour.
That's for 2. So that's for 20, nearly 30 days away. But £8,000 I've had to budget.
Wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
You can do it a lot cheaper, but like I say, it's our holiday at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
So
It depends what comfy you want, doesn't it? Like, I know Alex says he likes to go on the hotels and things as well, because that's the only, it's comfortable. You don't want to be sleeping in a tent on a long journey like that.
I like a nice hotel, and I'm prepared to pay for it. So
yeah, if it's a weekend,
having to put up with a caravan, look, with an outside toilet.
Yeah, is that what ours is? A caravan and outside toilet. Yeah. Which tree would that be? The one on the left or the one on the right?
the outside toilet's a long drop with a bucket.
Or they probably supply a spade by the door, so you dig a hole first and then you dig the
Yeah.
I hope it's better quality than that. You know, I'm expecting 5-star accommodation. I hope it is. I have to have a word with Steve and make sure.
It's the finest caravans money can buy.
Well, Nigel's bring his butler with him. See if you can get him to help out.
Right. Steve there, M109, said he's doing a planning trip to Andalusia. 3,000 kilometers will take about 6 days, and he's taking €1,200. That doesn't sound a lot, does it? For 6 days, is it?
If you're on your own, that's doable, isn't it?
3,000 miles, that's a lot of miles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doable. I mean, I take very little cash now when we go away. I tend to just take my card. If I'm away for a couple of weeks, I might take €300-400.
Yeah.
Joe, I've not
really. Everywhere takes card now, so there's just no need to take cash.
Well, we'll get the comments back on here. We got them back on. We got the comments.
And whatever you pack to take away, take half of it out and get rid of it because you won't use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Alex. All right.
I'm not planning. Yes. Good evening, Alex. Sorry, I got you in there. I was waiting for a gap before I said hello. Thanks for coming.
Evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. It's
well, I hope you got a note from your mum.
I was on an important business.
We'll forgive you.
What's your excuse again? What? You were getting whiskey again, were you?
No. It's to do with bikes, but
you were stealing bikes. You say sorry.
Yeah.
He's Scottish. I can't understand what he says, but yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's good to see you here. And what's going on? Have you been out for any rides this week, Alex? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I've managed to get out. I don't know, 2 or 3 times this week. It's been great. The weather's been good up here, so
that's what I was going to say. What's the weather like up there?
No, it's first down here. Yeah, first class. It's been. I've got some good rides in. I was out on the Royal Enfield a couple of times, and NC750X. So it was good fun. Yeah, all good. Managed to get some footage for videos, so they'll be coming out in the next few weeks. So
brilliant. You're not far off your 200th video, are you?
That's Friday. It'll come out on Friday. It's all done.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. Really looking forward to that.
Are you doing a giveaway? Like give away a Honda NT 1100?
Oh, I'll be in for that one. Yeah, I'll be in for that. Yeah.
I gave,
I'll,
I gave,
I'll give away a picture, digital, via email if you like. But
I gave Howie the guided tour of Dorset back lanes yesterday, and it was.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I
He says,
introduced him to the fine waft of pig poo.
we go around Dorset. He says, serious, is it that house there?
I tell you,
He said,
pig shit's got a smell of its own,
I
hasn't
knew a girl I shagged him.
That's one of the beauties of riding motorbikes. If you're in a car, you don't get the full effect and feeling of riding the atmosphere. You ride on a bike, you get the smoke, you get the smells, and you also get smells. When I'm riding to work every day, I get a lot of how can I?
Shit.
No, it's how can I put it? Cannabis smells.
Yeah,
As
I
you
was
ride.
about to
Oh,
say
right,
that.
yeah.
You can tell when you're behind a car that's or a van. It's normally a van, a white van, basically.
Do you tend to find you don't overtake them? You just stay behind them and keep on sniffing, or what?
I get home. I get to work sometimes, and my eyes are all dilated, and I think, "Where have you been?" Well,
And he feels really
You go to
hungry.
work doing reggae.
yeah,
Hey, right.
instant drug test.
I
I was
know.
out with my wife today in the
Hey.
car, and when we're coming down the road, and I said to my wife, very much what you just said there. I said, it's amazing. We've lived here all our days in the countryside, and it's beautiful. Really lucky with the countryside we've got around us, the rolling hills and all that good stuff. And I said to her, I didn't really appreciate all of this until I got back on the motorbike and started riding the
Mm.
the roads because it's just a completely different experience.
it is. I think every
Well,
vehicle
it's like you say, it's like what Joe says. It's the exposure you get. You don't get that in a car. You don't get that in any other vehicle except, well, you probably do get it on a push bike. But it's the exposure, and it's the same with like the speed. You're exposed to more to speed. You're exposed more to being more physical on a bike than you ever gonna be in a car. So that's why I think it's
I mean,
kind of like it's exciting, isn't it?
there's something completely different about it. I mean, there's no way I'd do what I do if it was going in a car.
No, no, God, no.
Every year I go back to the Alps. Every year I'm drawn down to Bulgaria, Austria, Switzerland, and them areas, and I just don't see me ever doing it in a vehicle, other than a bike.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the other thing as well, if you're riding along when you come to where there's been a diesel spill, has anybody been riding along and you can smell the diesel before you
You
even
can
get
smell it
anywhere?
straight away.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And then you know it's there, and you think,
I mean,
Oi, oi. Time for a tablet.
Time out. Everybody change round.
I spoke about it.
have you got no other than the lakes? Have you got no ambitions to get over to Europe and experience something a little bit different?
Yeah.
Well, probably you could bring Alex in on this because I'm sure Alex would love to tell us you've been trying to book a ferry, haven't you, to go back to Norway?
I have booked it. It's all booked now. But
Isn't Norway extremely expensive?
Cool, isn't it ever?
yes, but I would say no more expensive than Switzerland.
Switzerland's 4 times more expensive than the UK, so Norway's got to be up there, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, but it all depends what you do. You see, I when I tour, I tend to have one meal a day. So I'm not stopping and having lunch and then stopping and having an evening meal or buying breakfast. I'll take a couple of snack bars with me. That does me for most of the days. Sometimes I stop and get a coffee. And so I'm not spending huge amounts of cash during the day. I certainly do it when I come to my meal. In Norway, I had a tin of Carlsberg, and it was a tenner for a tin. It was eye-watering. I was like that. You've got to be kidding. But I was needing it. I enjoyed it enough. But
You want to go out with Howie? Oh, he's a feeder. He is. He made me eat twice yesterday.
He's a feeder.
You never know where you're going to end up, though. You could end up
It was delicious. I mean, we had some Somerset dining, which was beautiful, and then we had the Dorset dining, which was
Greasy
basically
spoon.
a greasy spoon. And
Proper
it's just the
food.
difference between the two counties, really, isn't it? I mean, I know it's still Dorset where we went, but it's very close to the border, and it's a bit more sophisticated.
Well,
with
I'm hoping to get down
brie
that
and
way
bacon.
on the bike for 3 or 4 days in August. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll try and.
well, we can show you around. Nigel will show you some
Pig
great
shit.
dogging spots with delphiniums down it and
Dogging
all
spots
sorts.
and a greasy spoon. It sounds like a perfect date
We,
to me.
we know the actual location you're thinking there because it's got a cafe and it's a dogging spot as well. So you park up, you can stay there for the 4 days.
There's another good thing that Noob's just mentioned. He said when you're out on a bike, and I suffer from this as well. It's hay fever. If you're going riding down a road,
I'm
and
lucky that I don't suffer from it. So
you're very lucky because when I get to that yellow rapeseed, it really does get on my eye stream, and I have to get past it as quick as possible. Doesn't
I
do any
suffer
good.
from the poo fly in the mouth syndrome. I dislike
Oh,
that very much.
yeah. No, as long as you're not. Why do you get the in Scotland? Obviously, you've got the midges and things like that. Do they affect people when you're riding along?
You say that when we've done the NC 500, we took all our wet weather gear, we took all our midge spray, and we didn't see a bleeding midge. We didn't see any rain, and we got sunburnt because we didn't take sunblock. But I think you can do the NC 500 50 times and only ever get the weather once that we got.
Yeah.
It was really, really heavy rain from here to the Lake District, and then we didn't see anything for a week, and we had 27 degrees on the most northern part of Scotland, and we got sunburnt. Didn't see a midge, not one. I've still got the midge spray in the cupboard.
It's probably too hot for them. Not used to hot weather. It's normally cold and wet and damp up there, isn't it?
And they might just not like fat people. I don't know. I didn't get bit.
I was a mid magnet while I was up there.
The love fresh meat.
6 of us. It was me they attacked.
I would say that certain times a year that the midges are there, and it's down the west coast, right? We never get any on the east coast ever.
No.
No, never.
Because they say rather than mid spray, don't they? That is it Avon Skin So Soft that the locals swear by up there?
I think you just want to show your feminine side now and put that on personally.
It was lovely. It was just we rubbed that all over each other. It was lovely.
I've got to admit, I've never been bothered with midges. They seem to avoid my particular aftershave brute reason.
A little bit of brute.
Splash it all over Owie. Going back to the ferry stuff, I had to go down to Hull to get a ferry to get a reasonable price because Newcastle's went off the scale.
But
how much were they charging you for the crossing to Norway?
£114.
That's nothing.
Yep.
Are they still sailing from Newcastle?
They wanted £1,034 for me and the wife to travel from Portsmouth to Bilbao, return.
That's like a 36-hour ferry. The ferry from Denmark.
It's a couple of nights.
Denmark to Norway is a 4-hour crossing, right? And it's cheaper from last year. Last year I was nearly 20 quid dearer, so the prices went down. Newcastle's went up from 550-ish or something last year. The lowest price I could get was about £900, and some of them was over £1,000 to go from Newcastle with a motorbike. I went down. I've got 5:46 from Hull to Rotterdam, so I've booked that. So it's an extra couple of hours for me down the road. But I don't know why the UK is being assaulted like this, because how can Norway and Denmark go down?
Yeah, they're ripping us off.
We're mugs, aren't we? We put up with it.
Well, Newcastle no last like that. Do you know the other thing I did was I went and checked how much a car would cost to go on that Newcastle ferry, and it was only
there's not much in it.
75 quid.
Yeah, you're getting ripped off. I mean, we noticed it when we done Portsmouth to Bilbao. People are saying that their car, to take a car on, was only about £100 more than it was to take a bike. Now you can get 6 bikes in one space for one car.
Yeah.
They're ripping bikers off.
It's pathetic. It really is. But Newcastle will not survive if that's the kind of prices that they're going to charge, because who's going to pay £900 for a return crossing over it's a 15-hour sailing, right enough, but for an extra couple of hours to drive down to Hull for me, it's
what ferry company is that by the way?
DFDS.
Yeah, because I know with Brittany Ferries they quoted us 1,060 or 1,030 odd quid for return. That's with an outside cabin. But if you actually ring them up and book it a single hotel, they class it as a package, so you save money on your crossing. So instead of paying the 1,034 just for the ferry, I paid 930 something, and that was with one stay in a 5-star hotel in Bilbao on the way back.
That's
So it's quite a
pathetic.
saving.
Yeah.
Just
Is that
bundling it up.
1,000 and odd return, or is that each way?
That was a return.
So how long do you spend looking for these trips and things, the costs? And do you just go online and look for the best prices, or where do you get your
Well, the earlier you book,
from?
usually the better you get the price. I mean, when we go to when we're doing the Dolomites, we're going over on the train. I think I've paid about 125 quid for return on the train. If you book it nearer the time, you're probably going to pay 150. But the ferry, I booked the ferry, probably the October last year. But again, as demand comes on, you pay more money.
Mm-hmm. It's a sad truth.
And they've got you by the curlies. I mean, to ride to Spain from here and do the ferry, I'd have to pay £130 on the train. It'd take me 3 or 4 days to get down there. Say 3 days if I pushed it non-motorway. 3 days back. That's 6 hotels. That's already the ferry cost covered straight away. And I've lost 6 days of my holiday. So the ferry is still cheaper. It's still more convenient.
Yep.
It's lesser of two evils. I've rode from the UK to Spain, and it can be a ball ache of a ride. It really can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a long way to get down through France.
It is. You're better off getting the ferry. People say, "Oh, the ferry's expensive." Well,
yeah,
you've got to do what you got to do.
down. You've got wear and tear on your bike. You've got hotels. You've got extra costs.
Yeah.
Excellent rider saying, Howie, have you ever been abroad?
Yeah, I go abroad. I fly though.
Oh yeah. You can get
That's
a
I
flight.
don't take my
That's
bike
cheating.
abroad. If I want a bike when I'm abroad, I'll hire a moped or a scooter or something. I've done that before in the past.
Has
But I
anybody
don't
done
take my own bike.
done the Isle of Man or something like that? Because that's like a more of a local place or island. That sort of place.
Again, the Isle of Man to do the TT, it costs you just as much as going to Spain.
Mega bucks, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the
Yeah, that's
ferries
mega
are-
money now.
The ferries are mental, aren't they?
Wow.
Yeah, one of the things I've considered doing is to go further afield, because it's like you say, if you go down to Spain, especially if, even for me to come from Scotland to get down to Portsmouth or Plymouth, or it's Portsmouth, isn't it? You're leaving from. That's a 2-day ride for me. I wouldn't do that in one day. And it's just, and then you're another 48 hours on the boat, so that's an 8-day round trip on its own. So
Yeah, that's just a 48-hour drinking session, to be fair.
Yeah. But the thing I thought about was that perhaps to hire a bike, and I did look to do that in Norway, but geez, the price of hiring bikes in Norway is off the scale.
Yeah.
It really is. Just to give you more time to ride, the difference I would say between Norway and Switzerland is Norway's roads were a lot quieter. Just as good, but quieter.
We stayed in Switzerland for a couple of days, and the guy that actually was looking after the hotel was Dutch. And he was saying, although their wages are 4 times more, the cost of living is 4 times more. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
So we tend to actually stay outside Switzerland now and just dart in and out as we please. But I say this year we can go into Switzerland, but we might skip Switzerland because we're going into the Dolomites in Italy. So we'll probably leave Switzerland alone this year.
So the new biker saying there, he wants to go to the Isle of Man outside the race events. Does it make a difference if you're going over there on a ferry or something outside of the Isle of Man?
Massive
TT?
difference.
It makes a massive difference.
It's like the kids going away for on school holidays. It's supply and demand. They know people are going to want holidays in them times, so they just put the prices up. If you go outside them times, big difference.
Because if you just want to go over and have a ride around the track and see the place, I suppose that's probably a better thing to do, or even just after it's finished when the atmosphere is a little bit still there. I suppose if you just want to ride around the track.
Yeah, it's all supply and demand, and they know it. You're a captive audience. They know people are going to want to go over there in their droves on bike. They know people are going to want accommodation. They can charge what they like, and people will pay it.
Yeah.
What I would say is, you've got to do it. You've got to go and experience riding across and abroad in the motorbike.
100%. I'm 100% with you on that. It's a completely different experience to riding in the UK.
Yeah.
Completely different. I mean, I can spend 2-3 weeks in Europe and feel completely safe and enjoy it and not even look for a pothole. I'll get back in the UK, and before I've done the 105 miles home, they've tried to kill me 4 times. I fell down 4 holes. It's madness.
I would say they're very considerate of motorbikes and
100%.
riders.
Yeah, I agree.
Steve's just come up with a good question there. Look, I mean, you just booked it, Al. Is it more problematic now getting in and out?
No,
That's what I'd be
Going
worried
abroad and
I don't know yet. Not been there. I'm not been there.
not at the moment. They're bringing in a new thing probably in October this year or beginning of next year, where you've got to get a visa, but that visa is going to last you for 3 years. Other than that, no, nothing at all. And that's all applied for online. It's about £8. It's going to last you for 3 years. So no, it's not changed a lot. It's still easy to get in and out of Europe.
So is that all you need? Is that all you need? You need your passport and a visa to get across there.
You don't even need that at the moment. All you need is your passport.
Just your passport. Yeah.
It's not coming in until they said it's going to meant to be coming in October, but now they're looking at putting it back till early next year. And then there's a 6 months grace anyway.
I'm glad you asked that, answered that question, because I've been trying to check on that. I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when.
Yeah, I've signed up to the website and they're letting me know. They're keeping me up to date. But even if it comes in October and you're booked to, say, go away in December, you've got a 6 months grace on your first trip. So you won't need it for the first time you go away within that 6 months. But if you're going away again within that 6 months, you will need that visa. But it's online, it's digital, and it's a one-off payment. It should last for 3 years. It's no different than if some countries you go to. I mean, we've been to the States. You fill in a thing on the aeroplane, blah, blah, blah. It's done. This is all done before you go. Straight. But at the moment, no, you can book a train tonight. Just show your passport at customs and you're in. That's it.
Because I live quite closely now. I'm probably only about an hour away from there. I've never actually been across. It was that easy. When I retire, which won't be too long, I hope, I'll probably make that journey and have a try over there. Go over there for a day and see what it's like, and come back just as a practice run, and then do something a little bit further afield.
Yeah, just go. Go. Yeah, the system's like Steve M109R was saying. It's ETIS, and it's just not. It's not implemented yet. They keep putting it back, but yeah, it isn't going to be a difficult process just to go online and apply for it. Yeah. It's a digital visa, basically.
It's a money grab. It's another. I can't remember.
That's it. Yeah. They just want to show. I mean, if they can charge everyone that goes to Europe £8, their quid's in, isn't they?
Yeah. It's dead. When you go to the port, I don't know about you, but when you go to the port, I don't even need my booking number. You hand over your passport, they look at your passport and say, "Oh, that's you." And they give you your tickets and you get on.
Yeah, because you've already done your advanced passenger information, haven't you? You've already handed it over, so your passport's already linked to that. So they just scan your passport and it all comes up.
Yep, and then you go through security and you get some old bloke going to you. Are you carrying any knives or anything else? Did you pack the goods yourself?
Sometimes you don't even get that. I mean, last time we went over in the car to Bruges. They just swabbed the car and that was it. The last time we went to Spain, nothing. Straight in, straight on.
Have you sailed from Hull at all?
No.
No. I'm wondering if they do the border checks in Hull, because there's so many folk going from there, or instead of arriving in Rotterdam and then going through customs there.
I tell you what, all you need is a dinghy. Stick it on a dinghy and drive and get halfway across, and they'll pull you across and free of charge.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a bugger to get an NT 1100 in the dinghy, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's all good fun though. It's adventure, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day, it's an adventure, isn't it? When you go to something like that and you go away for a period of time, it's a great thing to do. It's something I'd love to do. I'm definitely going to do something like that.
You've got to do it, Joe. It's just such a great. That Amsterdam was a bugger for me.
I think if you do it once, you're hooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be on my bucket list.
No, don't wait. Don't wait until your bucket list, because you'll regret it.
Yeah.
No, I mean as soon as I retire.
Don't even wait. Just do it. Do it this year. Just do it. Just even if it's for a long weekend.
I will.
Just do it.
The thing is, Joe, you're so close to the channel, and I don't know much. It's not that expensive relatively.
No.
And you could be in France and then whizzing about some of
I know.
that places and then back again for
Yeah.
your work on a Monday
Within,
morning.
Well, I have done that. I've gone across for work to over there and gone up to Denmark and back from there. So I've done it a couple of times, but in the car.
I mean,
Not
I
on
can
the train,
guarantee you, within 10 minutes of getting off at Calais, if you select a non-motorway route and start heading south, you probably won't see another car.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? If it's like that, jeez.
It is something to experience. It really is.
Amsterdam wasn't like that. That was mental, but it was mental because of the cyclists, not the not the cars. The cars were fine. The cyclists were absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, a bit like Cambridge.
Well, I've not been in Cambridge right enough, but geez, the
Cyclists have priority. They've got their own traffic lights, their own lanes, and they're right in the middle of the road. Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, it's dodgy here on a bike. I've just bought an electric bike actually, not a motorbike,
I was
electric.
going to say push bike, I hope.
Yeah, I didn't want an electric bike, and I thought I've got to get some exercise. When I retire, I need to get some exercise. So I bought a bike, and I bought an electric one. And riding one of them on the road, it's real scary. I don't know compared to a motorbike. It's a lot worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andy's gone.
Back in a minute.
Yeah. Over there, they have proper lanes and things, though, don't they? Over there, over in Europe and things for push bikes and things.
yeah, but
Separated, don't they? Completely. Not
I
like
was
here.
coming off. I was coming off a roundabout, and there's a sort of outer roundabout for cyclists, and of course they've got right away, and I didn't see this guy coming past. It's on one of the videos from a couple of years ago. Now
Do you
you
know
hear, "Hey!"
they
Don't
tried
walk the bike.
that in Weymouth. One of the big roundabouts, one of the main roundabouts in Weymouth, they tried it, putting the cycle lane on the very outside edge of the roundabout, and you had to give way to them. They had 3 accidents in the first 2 days
I can imagine.
because we're not used to it. I mean, it's
No, this was like the first 15 minutes. I got off the ferry, drove down the road looking for a coffee shop so I could set myself up, and it was just. But it was an eye opener. Once you realise about the cyclist, you become even more paranoid. And the cars are not the problem, but the bloody cyclists are. So for me, it was getting out of Amsterdam was the quickest and best thing to do.
You want cyclists, you could go around Oxford. Christ,
I mean-
the place is rife with them. Students.
oh
push
yeah,
bikes.
god yeah.
Even the country lanes as well, because I was out on the NT 1100 yesterday, and there's a lot of bikes early in the morning going out in bunches on the country lanes. You're riding along at a recent 40 miles an hour or so, and all of a sudden there's like loads of bikes in the middle of the road, and they don't pull over either.
Well, Nige was telling
stay
a
there,
story
big
about
bunch.
a cyclist on that last video I put up.
Mm,
Wait, Nige.
yeah. They these middle-aged men with their beer bellies and
Camels.
they're
Those men in like that.
scraping themselves into their Team Sky lycra. Good job that bloody stuff stretches. And I can't moan because I squeezed into it when I did that John O'Groats to Land's End. But yeah, they were going hell for leather down this country lane and come off. And when we got there, his collarbone was poking out,
Oh,
screaming like a good one he was.
I always ask myself whether they get up in the morning and think, which national speed limit can I ride down today and cause the most chaos?
Now, there's a good thing from New Bike. He's saying that he's been there a few times, and it's not the problem with the bikes. It's just you have to adjust to the fact that all the bikes are there and ride slower and more considerate, I suppose, until you get past them. What would you say about that? Because I suppose I reckon it's okay for the bikes to be there, but I think they should pay some sort of like insurance or some sort of money to be on those.
It isn't the single cyclist. It's the wally in the car that hasn't got a clue how to go round the cyclist.
Yes.
And then you get the group of cyclists that think, oh, well, there's 10 of us, so we're just going to take the whole road up.
Yes.
They're another different kettle of fish.
That happens a lot. I've seen that a lot, yeah.
But I just going back to a comment that Noobs put that Picos, the Picos is on his bucket list. Well, I'd done the Picos last year, and yeah, it's definitely worth doing. I think you can probably do most of the Picos in 4 days, although we spent a week there. But yeah, the Picos is a special place.
Some lovely, your video of some of the places there, the hills and things, are lovely views.
Stunning. Well worth doing.
Is it like the NC 500 though? Is it now a victim of its own success over there?
No, it's not.
Is it not?
Not at all. No, not. I mean, we went in September. and it was fantastic. You'll see a lot of bikes. I mean, that's the thing. You're in Potest, which is like the main sort of mecca for bikes, and then you'll go through there and you'll see thousands of bikes, and then 10 minutes down the road, you won't find one. It's really, really weird. But yeah, no, it's stunning. It's stunning. It's the NC500. Unfortunately, is stunning. It's a beautiful part of the world. It's up there with the best part of the world you could ever go to for scenery. But it's also the best part of the world for camper vans, traffic, and wallies. If you think that France is 4 or 5 times bigger than the UK with a tenth of the traffic, and Spain's very much the same. So yeah, we're so overpopulated on our roads in this country. It's unreal.
What I would say about the NC500 is that you're right. The actual NC500 route is a bollocks now because of the amount of traffic. However, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of other roads that are not NC500 that are
Yeah, totally agree. I mean,
that are quiet and that they're just as good. I mean, last year
it's the signs you've got up there for toads that make me laugh. Down here we get deer crossing. Up there you get toads crossing.
Never heard of one of them.
The red squirrels.
That's it. I mean, we
We've
studied
got
Glasgow.
toad crossings down here.
Are you joking there, or is that serious about the
No,
toad?
that's serious.
No, there are signs up there beware of the toad. I mean, we started in Glasgow and we ended in Glasgow and we done the 500, but we done 1,000 miles. So we basically done a lot more than the 500 because, like I said, the roads off the 500 are just as stunning. If you've never done it, you've got to do the 500 to say you've done it, but we've done a lot more and it's brilliant. I mean, we didn't go up past Loch Lomond. We headed out to Inverary and we went round past the Sub-Pens and round there. Beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Another place that you guys should really consider. I went in 23 on the Royal Enfield up to Shetland. The Shetland is like the NC500, but there's nobody there. The weather's rubbish, but it's just such a magical place to ride a motorcycle. And the locals are all pretty friendly as well, so they'll no boil you in a pot or anything.
You hope, anyway. They might get the haggis to chase at you. There's a haggis.
I mean, those of you that go abroad, do you prefer riding on the left like we do, or do you? Because when we went to France, I quite enjoyed riding on the right. It felt more natural.
There's something I'm with you on that somewhere, Nige. I'm with you on that. It does feel a bit more natural.
I'm not that bothered, right? But it was quite easy to ride on the right. But I'll tell you what I did find.
It is on a bike because you're riding in the middle of the road anyway, so it's literally 6 inches the other side of the line, so it's no big deal.
And you're not sitting at either side on a car. You're at the right-hand side or left-hand side. On a bike, it's the same, isn't it? No matter where you are.
Yeah, well, when you get in a left-hand drive car, all your angles are wrong because you're looking at it a different way.
Yeah. See, that's never bothered me even when I take the car over. It just doesn't affect me which side of the road I'm on.
Yeah, not if I'm a right-hand drive
it's
car.
It's awkward at McDonald's if you're getting a drink, but other than that.
What I would say is, see places like the Netherlands in particular have got a fantastic road system, and the roundabouts are pretty mental, right? So what's the UK roundabouts like? It's like a free-for-all with people cutting lanes and doing all that kind of stuff, especially if you're on a motorbike. In Netherlands and other places, they split the lane, so you've got to stay in your outside lane. If you can't cut across because it's actually 2 lanes that you're going through. Now you've got the exits and all the rest of it, but you can't get people just doing as the crow flies, and I think it adds to safety hugely.
So is it the roads or is it the standard of drivers in this country that are the problem?
Standard of driving, definitely.
Well, it's both, right? The standard of driving here, because there's no enforcement. When was the last time you seen a cop chasing somebody down?
Yeah. There's no courtesy either, is there?
You say that. When was it? Friday. I'm travelling south on the M1. There's quite a bit of traffic around. The matrix are up, so we're down to sort of 60, 65 mile an hour. We're coming around a bend on the motorway. There's a few larger vehicles in front of me in the outside lane. And then all of a sudden, brake lights are coming on. There's 2 vehicles with bits flying off them. The 2 vehicles in front of me are swerved, and then I'm confronted at 60 mile an hour going head on to another vehicle that's decided that he's going to run away from the police, and he's driving northbound in the outside lane on the southbound carriageway. So I swerved and avoided him. The 2 cars behind me avoided him.
Yeah.
The next few cars did not avoid him, and it was carnage. And that was Friday.
Alex has opened his wallet. Look.
Madness.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
dear.
probably the
That'll be
whiskey.
the
He's opened
whiskey.
his wallet and he's sharing it with Howie.
No,
It's
no,
a whiskey
that'll be the
delivery.
whiskey delivery. You watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Also in traffic light, I see lots of people now on traffic lights. They just go straight through them a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. There's a
What's the traffic light?
Fun.
What's the traffic light?
Very, very busy.
I just tend to ignore them now.
Yeah. No, well, look, you don't ignore them. I'm sure you don't. But what they're doing now is there's a roundabout just coming up to Dartford Crossing, and if you go into 10,
We got a depot in Thurrock, so it's not far from there, I assume.
Yeah, it's that roundabout that goes just onto the M25 there, and they've put cameras on all the lampposts there. If you notice, if you ever go around there, there's cameras on all lampposts, and what they're doing a survey there, because what they're going to do, they're going to make that fully electronic to monitor people on the roundabout and things, and on that junction. So if you then if you go across a red light or you stay in the yellow box, you're going to get charged. That's what they're going to do. I don't know how that's going to work because there's so many.
It's not going to stop people doing it, though, is it? It's just them making revenue.
It is making revenue, but when the traffic builds up on there, it's completely chocker. People fill up the roundabout. There's no courtesy at all. There's and everybody just doesn't let one person doesn't let you go. They don't let them go, and it just if everybody had a little bit of sense and let one go at a time, it would be great.
I went down to London a couple of years ago and to looking at a new car. And I was out in the test drive with a guy, and the guy was like that, don't go in the box or you're going to get booked. Right? Don't stop in the box, in the yellow box. You'll get booked. And to be honest, it worked and the roads were chock-a-block where I was. I can't remember where it was, but it was pretty central anyway, and the roads were absolutely mobbed. But see up here, they'll just sit in the middle of the road and no traffic goes anywhere because all they're doing is blocking the exits for all the other buggers when the lights change.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In a bike, you're all right. You can get through on a bike, can't you? But it's the cars and the lorries and the vans and the wagons.
It's a 40-ton truck that comes across and just blocks everything.
Well, hopefully these camera systems will clear that one up because that's a bad one. That.
Yeah. You'll notice that when you're in Spain in the Picos, if you're going too fast, you'll get stopped at the next set of lights because they have these lights for no reason in the middle of nowhere. And you'll be driving through a town or a small village, and then they'll be flashing orange. And if you're going too quick, they'll sense you're going too quick, so they'll just stop you at the next set, and then you have to slow down.
That's pretty cool.
It's the same in Portugal. If you're going too quick, you will get stopped at the traffic lights. You're forced to slow down.
Just say cheers to Lee. He's off. Cheers, Lee.
See you, Lee.
Bye.
Yeah. But where's the answer? Just get rid of the traffic off the roads is the answer.
That's why we go to Europe, because there isn't as much.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to start winding this up pretty shortly. I'm going to get Howie back on here. He's back. Here he is. Now, what we try and do on the streams that we have here, we try to promote channels and give people the opportunity to basically, put things out there. If you've got a new channel or something you want to promote, then let's put it on here. And I think we've got a couple of channels this week which we want to give a shout out to. I think the first one, if I'm right, is it Backrod Tourist? I think Howie, did you say? Because he's doing a new channel, isn't he?
Am I missing something? I can't see Howie on screen.
No,
Me.
Sorry, that's me.
My
apologies. There he is.
Yeah, Backroad Tourist is doing a podcast. It's called Throttle Therapy with a guy called An Idiot on Board. His name's Chris. Chris is a fireman, and they're doing a sort of like mental health, get involved kind of podcast for the biking community. So it's in the early stages, but I've give it a look. and through them, I've come across a really great channel. His edits are absolutely spot on and very professional. It's called The Highway Child. It's all one word, and he's absolutely brilliant. I put a link up on the chat. So yeah, do look those up. He's only got about 16 subs actually. The Highway Child.
Yeah. It's strange that some of these channels who are just starting up, they're really, really good at what they do, and nobody sees them unless somebody gets it out there to start off. It's YouTube, isn't it?
Very
Really,
much.
can't you got to get them out there?
It's that bloody algorithm again, isn't it? It baffles me. It really does. There's no common sense to it at all. There's no rhyme or reason.
I don't bother with it. I mean, the thing is, I've rode all year round, and I've been out probably 40 times since Christmas, 50 times, and I've just not bothered to do anything. I've either got to feel like I want to do it, or just not bother. I won't just put a video up and do a video for the sake of it. And I think the algorithm picks up on that, doesn't it? It pushes your videos if you're doing them regularly, but if you're doing one here and there, it doesn't. And you know what? I put up and do what I enjoy. Other than that, I can't be bothered.
I think there's more to it than just that, because I put videos up just about every week and they're still shit numbers. that just maybe something to do with the content, but I think that because there's a whole pile of changes coming to YouTube this year. There's one that for shorts, what they're going to do is they're going to count impressions as views. So it looks like you're getting far more views, but they're not going to count that as part of the algorithm. The other change that I've heard about is that they're going to, if you are subscribed to a channel but don't watch regularly that channel, they're not even going to tell you that there's a video there for you. Now, I think it comes down to YouTube are not making enough money out of YouTube with advertising.
It's got to be down to money, isn't it? YouTube ain't in it for the fun factor, are they?
And what I think is, see the little shitty channels that are only getting a few hundred views, they'll make no money out of that.
No.
But what they'll push and what they're wanting to use their computing power for is the people who will get 100,000, 500,000 views. You know, you go and look at some of the youngsters, some of the crud that's out there and what they do, and they've got 500,000 views. That's what YouTube want to use their computing power on to make money, because that's where they get their adverts, that's where they get all their income from. And the little channels, they're not bothered about. They'll give you 24 hours, and then if you don't get watched, you'll never get seen again unless you go hunting for it. Because I've been looking at it pretty closely because I want to understand why it doesn't work.
I don't. Can anybody understand how it works?
No, they can't. They tell you the algorithm looks at 3 things, I think it is. One of them is how many people come back and watch your video, how many people that are how long they watch it for, right? So it's how many people come back, how long they watch it for, and I think it's impressions versus views. So if you get 1,000 impressions and you're only getting 100 views, that counts against you, right? You know,
so I'm probably only getting 1 view, 1 impression, 1 like.
Yeah. What's Noob on about? He's on about use the subscriber feed. Don't just use the main feed. Go to the menu and choose subscriptions. What's that all about? Does anybody know? I've never had to explain. There must be some sort of you can clarify that, Noob. It's don't use the main feed. Go to the menu and choose subscriptions. What does that one do? I wonder.
The thing is, I think YouTube is one of those, you're either in it to get the views and the videos and get the likes and the subscribe, or you're just, for me, I put it up because I know my family and friends like to keep an eye on us and see what we're doing. And if other people enjoy it, then fair enough.
That's the best way.
And I'm really, you know, it's nice to think, oh yeah, these people are enjoying my videos. But if they don't, then I'm not asking, you know, I don't care if you watch it. But it's nice if you do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, we all subscribe to loads of channels. Every one of us subscribes to a lot of channels. And if you watched everything that everyone put up, you wouldn't leave your house.
I know. I
So you
understand.
have to select what you watch and
You do.
what you're interested in watching.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's just the way it is. Not everyone's going to watch my video, but I might put something up that they're really interested in, and then they'll watch it.
Yeah.
And you've got to accept that, I think, as a YouTuber.
Yeah, because you think these channels with like 12, 20,000, 30,000 subs and things, they're not there all day getting replying to every single one all the time. Not everybody there will be replying. There'll only be a core bunch of people, say 10 or 20, that they always watch and always watch religiously. Like I've got a few, probably about 8 to 10 that I watch religiously all the time, and the other ones I watch when I can if I've got any spare time.
Yeah, and I
that's
watch people's if I'm interested in the content, I'll watch it. But if you're tearing up dirt tracks and I'm not interested in watching off road videos and that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch it. There's other videos out there I want to watch, but the same for every channel. You just can't watch everything that you subscribe to. It's impossible.
It is, yeah, I agree.
You look at some of the bigger channels that perhaps have 100,000 subs. Their videos are not getting anywhere near that. They might get 5,000. They might get 10,000.
So what is the average? Is it 10%, 20%, or 30%? If you say, for instance, you've got 1,000 subscribers and you get 100 views, you've got 10% of subscription watching it. But if you've got like TMF, for instance, he's got 275,000 subscribers. He's not getting 275,000 views.
No, definitely
not.
not.
That's
then again, whenever he puts the video up, regardless of what it is, within the first 10 minutes, he's already got 20,000
He might have
views.
20 views, but how many people have sat there and watched the entire content of that, or have they just clicked on it and thought this is not for me?
It saves buying the biking newspaper he reads out of every month.
Yeah, but he's
picking yourself £2.50,
two
isn't
things
it?
out of it. And 2 or 3 things out of a newspaper and waffling on. But I mean, he's doing it as an income. He's made that part of. Obviously, he's got other business interests and stuff, but he's still doing that as a viable income. It's his living.
Yeah,
and that's the difference. I think that's the difference.
I don't make a penny out of YouTube, and I couldn't care less if I made a penny in 10 years' time or not. I'm not interested in it.
I'm the same as you, mate. I mean, I really don't care. I mean, I'm not here for attention. I'm just here to have a bit of fun and
if
ride
I
a
don't
bike
put
around.
another video up, I'm quite content that I've made so many really good friends and had so many good days out because of YouTube.
Yeah,
I couldn't care less.
I think that's the main thing, Andy. I think that's a really good point there. It's not just about the videos and things you put up, it's who you meet on the way, isn't it?
It
and
is.
Who you get to know and this, that, and that's 100%.
There are so many good people out there. I mean, the biking community is a very good community anyway. Yeah. And I think, it's just sitting here having a chat. It's no different than 5 blokes sitting down a pub having a beer and having a chat. And
exactly,
people listen. And that's what it's all about, I believe. Unless you're if you're making it as a career, then, you've got to dedicate your life to it.
Who's directing that get your moves out bit? Is that?
Well, I mean, Noobs has got a very good point there.
What's that?
I'm going to start wearing tight t-shirts and tweaking my nipples to get them harder because I think the old subs and views go way up then.
Yeah, we'll do that.
If you've got blonde hair, a nice tight arse, and a big set of knockers, you're going to do well on YouTube.
Yeah, that's me and Nige then, except for the blonde hair.
I've got 2 or 3 things. That doesn't help.
We've got tight asses with right. You should have seen us out yesterday.
You've got the wrong tackle in the trousers department. That's the problem.
It is true though that the girls get a really good following, right? They get a lot.
I think they do because men are perverts.
Yeah.
Well, and it's.
I personally don't watch a lot of ladies that do YouTube. That's just me. But yeah, they do. You are right. I
watch one. I've been watching one just now. She's running all over the UK, Ireland, and she's in Europe just now. She could probably pass as a bloke right enough. So, but she's really good, right? So it's not. I mean, you've all seen the channels where the lassie's going about in her shorts and her t-shirt on a motorbike and arse
And
stick.
very nice too.
Yeah, lovely.
There's one I saw somewhere. It's a video of a young lady kicking over a 750 Triumph Bonneville.
Oh yeah,
Had thousands of views, and all she's doing is kicking, and that's it. It's had massive views just for that. It's amazing, really. I might do that to see what happens.
yeah. You'll get a lot of bad press. We are.
You would, yeah.
I want to be entertained. What are you doing?
Oh dear, it's funny. I think YouTube is a big mystery, to be honest, and you've got to do it for the fun because you like to do it, and that's probably the most important thing.
It has to be. I mean, I've met so many good friends that I can now truly call friends.
Yeah.
And people I enjoy to spend my precious time with.
Yeah.
That,
and time is
that
precious.
I've only met through doing YouTube.
Yeah.
And you know, and if that's all that comes of it, happy days.
And time is precious. We all have a finite amount of time to enjoy ourselves while we're here.
I learned a long time ago to if I want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, we enjoy watching content.
I think a good way of looking at it is free storage, isn't it? It's like free cloud storage for your videos.
This is the thing. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, 4 years, whatever. But you know, I've been riding for a lot longer, and I've been recording my rides for a lot longer, and we've lost so much footage of stuff we used to do because, like you say, you put it on a memory card, that memory card gets lost. If you upload it to YouTube, it's there for generations to come.
Yeah. See, Dylan's got a nice name there. I like that, Dylan.
Yeah, I was just going to say Dylan's come up with a cracking name for the Sunday Waffle Club.
We might have to change the name to that. I think the Sunday Waffle Club, because it's a good one. That I like that.
Have you thought of a name of your little tour yet?
No, I haven't thought of a name. No. It's basically the peaks and passes at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit common, isn't it? Come on.
PPP,
what about 4 farts go north? That's a good one.
Which one?
It's
4 old farts go north.
It's not quite true.
or I can't find my pass with both hands.
We'll have to think of a name for it. I think is the best way to do. At some time,
how the video is going to come out? Are you going to be a collaboration of videos, or are you going to do a free for all?
We've kind of touched on recording and things like that, and about how we're going to record them, but not really any serious.
Because you could go down the motor rev route, couldn't you? Where you all give your data to one person, and one person does it.
I
take my hats off to Craig when he does that.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
To have everyone. I mean, you're talking terabytes of data, and he puts it together. Hats off to the guy.
I'd be quite happy to give all my videos and to somebody else, let them do it. I'd be quite happy with that. I'd be amazed. Yeah.
I think, Nigel, you're going to get a lot of SD cards at the end of this trip, mate.
But yeah, I've seen the workflow on Craig's Buddy editing software. I've seen a picture of it, and I kid you not, there must have been 16 different video feeds, all in his editing software, and he's picking out which bit to. Unbelievable. Yeah, he got more patience than I have.
I think there's some people who've got a real knack of doing it, haven't they? Like Peaky likes doing the video. He does some really good videos, clear clarity. He's all color grade and everything else. And some people like me, I just put the video up and it's just straight from the GoPro straight onto there, and that's it.
I done that one today, and it's only 3 minutes, and I had a quick roll in that car park because it's just the decline of that meter. I mean, we went to one of them overland days probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And Henry Cole and that was there. And they didn't know who was going to be there. But you couldn't park in a car park. We were parked right over the road. We were miles away. And it's like, you go there now and it's empty. Because people just can't take their bikes there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of places like that. The thing is, once somewhere gets popular, they tend to cut it down, don't they? People complain about it and things. If a cafe gets busy, because they've got lots of bikes and a lot of customers, then they start charging.
People can't take their older bikes there anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to get stung by Sadiq Khan's give us your money because I want to build another mosque down the fucking road.
Yeah.
Drives you mad.
Now, Dylan's just saying his new bike's landing in June. Does anybody know what he's getting?
It's NT1100.
NT1100, yes. The NT1100 group is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he's got one though. He's changing it for a new one, is he
He
not?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I don't know
demise
whether-
of the GS group. That's what's getting me down.
The which one?
The demise of the GSs. Come on.
Oh, they're good. I think there's a lot of good bikes out there, and it just depends what you physically like on a bike, doesn't it? Really, everybody
I
has
think
their own styles.
it's like people. I've been asked by like, why did you bother getting your bike remapped? Well, there's several reasons. I found when I don't know what it's like on the 1200s. I can't tell, but when I load my bike up and I've got the wife on the back and I've got all the luggage and you come to a steep hill, pulling away was an absolute nightmare. You'd give the bike so much revs and then it would just die. There was nothing. So I approached BHP UK knowing that they do the flashes, and I said, look, this is a problem I've got. Would your mapping help? And they said, yeah, it'd help. We'll give you a bespoke map, and that's what they've done. And we put it to the test today, and the difference is chalk and cheese. It's phenomenal.
Did you say it uses more fuel with the higher torque and
I
lower?
don't think it uses more fuel. To be honest, I've been a bit more frugal with it and been riding like a complete frigging lunatic just to check out the new power. But it's it's the difference on the low down. I think I've got about 30% more power on my throttle at 20% of throttle. So if I've got 20% of my throttle, I've got a lot more torque and power available. It doesn't bog down anymore. It's so much more smoother. And I had a specific reason that I wanted to do. It's completely changed my exhaust note on my Acaprovic Encan. Completely changed my exhaust note because not only do they map your fuel system, they map your valves, your cams, they map the flapper valve on the exhaust. It's all mapped. There's about 6 different elements in this map that they change, and it completely changes the aspects of the bike.
What about the power? What about the power at the top end? Is that is that
Power at the top end is phenomenal. It's
More.
so smooth. It's so smooth all the way through. Then you hit 5,000 RPM, and you just feel a waft of power coming that wasn't there before. On the GS, the power was always very linear. There was always a lot of torque through from 2,000 RPM up to about 7,000 RPM. Now you just get that extra little kick that comes in. I think it's only about 12 brake horsepower more, but it's the way that power is delivered that makes the difference on the bike. It just feels so much livelier, so much more positive when you hit that throttle. I specifically asked for a map that allows me to have a bit more fun two up and gives me more power in the lower mid range, and they've done that 100%, but also increase the top end as well. No, it's worth every penny.
Is it not something to do with emissions, though? The emissions are restricting all your power. And
the thing is, when you get your bike, it's like the NT 1100 or any bike you buy that's a popular brand, Honda, Kawasaki. The map for that bike has to work with every fuel in every country that bike is sold in. Not every country has 97 octane like we have, or 95. Some of them only have 80% octane. And the map is generic for each bike. So, for instance, I put a K&N air filter on mine, which means my bike breathes more easy. I've got an Acaprovic Encan, which means it exits gases more easy. And all them changes from a generic map, because we're so restricted on our bikes on the mapping because of Euro 5 and Euro 5.5, whoever it is now. Get rid of it. Do away with it. Get a bespoke map for your bike, and you will notice a difference. 100% it's worth every single penny.
Is it still compliant though with the regulations in when they do?
No.
Of course it is. I mean, when your MOT, you can take your bike for an MOT. When do they stick a thing in your exhaust and check your emissions?
I never know it.
It's not done. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's not done.
No.
It doesn't matter. If you take your bike to Spain and they do it differently, you might have a problem. But no, it's worth every. Your bike is burning every ounce of fuel that if you on your standard bike, when you twist the throttle, you've got you've got so much fuel, and the air going in causes an explosion, and there is a small quantity of fuel that's not being burnt. Okay, having your bike remap will actually burn that fuel you're putting in. It will completely alter what your bike is doing. It's so efficient, and consequently, you get more power, you get more torque, you get a smoother power band. You get the roll on and roll off is so much smoother. The engine braking is slightly less because it's using it more efficiently, and because of that, the efficiency will probably be improved.
Yeah.
Does it make more people wave to you?
On a GS, no, but you get a lot. You get a lot more of this. I feel like the Churchill dog sometimes, and everyone else is just going.
I wish I had the balls to put it up on YouTube. When I was on my way up to meet Howie yesterday, I passed a Harley Davidson coming the other way. I give him the nod. I have never seen such a stuck-up pelican all my life. Well, that was it.
You got that one as we left Motor Corsa?
No, it was when I was on my way up to meet you.
Oh,
I must have had about 4 minutes of just
I think the comedian Mickey Flanagan, the demise of finger in this country has gone downhill. So's the demise of nodding.
Oh.
I was just riding the R9T tonight. I've got it downstairs in the garage. I got my son's one. It's been sitting in his garage for a year, so I'm going to be running about with that. And the 12, it's a air cooled 1200. Beautiful engine, really loads of power. Really enjoyable.
While Dylan's here, and I know he's getting the new NT1100, I'd be very interested to know if the load down when you're riding the NT1100 slow, it's not very good in very slow speeds. I don't know whether you find that, Alex. But what it could do with the NT could be doing with the bottom end being really better for slow riding. And I think remapping it would probably do that, wouldn't it?
This is where mapping comes in, because mapping will optimize everything you do, from your throttle response in every single map mode on the bike. Because I don't know what bike's like, but on the GS, I've got 7 selectable modes that I can select to use to ride in. And the mapping is phenomenal, because it just takes out all the imperfections, everything that's defective on your bike that you might think, it could do a little bit smoother in third, or it could do a little bit more in sixth. The mapping will help that. It's bespoke to your bike. Every bike is different when it comes off of the production line, regardless of whether it's the same or not. You might have a different end can. You might ride it differently to someone else. It is bespoke. It's well worth doing.
Yeah.
I don't find it particularly snatchy, Joe.
Mine, I don't like. It's all right, but it's
because
not.
of your riding style, would you think?
Yeah. I would say I've not got the grip of an 18-year-old right enough in heat.
It'd be nice to get that bit. I'll be interested to know anyway off Dylan when he gets his new bike.
Have any of you ever? I mean, I've had my last 2 bikes mapped and my last 2 cars mapped. Has anyone else bother doing it, or is it just?
I've never had my cars mapped or anything.
I'm not sure anybody local does that kind of stuff for me.
The people that done mine are up in Dudley. So what you do is you buy the flasher unit, you connect it to your bike, it downloads your map to your bike and the information that your bike has on the way you ride, blah, 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 whatever's stored in the ECU. You then send that to them. They've had bikes in and done extensive testing on all sorts of bikes. They then ask you what you've done to your bike and what you'd like out the map. They then take 2 or 3 days to get a map back to you. Mm-hmm. You then put that map on the flasher. So your map's already on the flasher. You do one on your flasher, you put it onto the bike, you tell the bike which one you want to upload to your ECU. Yeah. That uploads it to your ECU, and then that's the map you use. I've got a flasher with 2 maps on it. It's got my original map and my modified map for my NCAN and my K&N filter, and I wanted the mid and low range ordered. But I could easily, literally email them and say, right, I want a map for my bike that's going to be optimized for track use, and they'd send me another map, obviously at a cost, and I could put that on the flasher and select which one I want anytime. Just upload it to the bike.
I didn't realise that they were able to do it remotely with.
If you go to YouTube and search BHP UK, BHP UK are on there. Have a look at some of their videos, and you'll be quite surprised in what they can actually do bespoke for yourself. And they send it to you. I think the cost of the unit and the map was about 559 quid. £459. But you get to keep the flasher. Now, the bonus with that flasher is you can then scan your bike. It will scan and clear fault codes, and it will also reset your service mileage if you want it to. So it's a double whammy if you want to use it for that.
And can you go back to do they keep the original map as well if you want to use
The
what it was?
original map is kept on the flasher. So
Yeah.
what they recommend is if your bike's ever going into the main dealer for any work, put the original map back on.
Yeah.
The original map can go back on. They can do what they need to do. Then when you get the bike back, just put your remap back on. It's kept on that flasher unit, and you get to keep the flasher unit. And again, it will read your fault codes, reset your
Which is handy as well.
stuff. Yeah. So it is. For me. It's well worth it. I mean, I've had it before where I've taken my bike to a map company, Hilltop, and they've remapped my bike. But that's it. Once that map's on it, I can't put the original one on. But with BHP, you get to keep the unit and put whatever map you want on.
That's very clever.
Yeah, it's worth thinking about. Anyway. Right, guys, has anybody got anything we want to say? Because I'm going to try and wrap this stream up in a few minutes, about 5 minutes or so. So if anybody's got anything they would like to say, anything coming up, videos next week, anybody? Start with Nigel. Have you got anything popping up next week or any plans?
I've got plenty of footage I've got to play through, but that'll be in between chasing a 2-year-old around.
Oh, yeah. you want to get like a child seat on the back of your bike and put them on the back of the bike and take them for a spin. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
I tried to sit him on there to take a photo of him to send to his mum. God, blimey.
Not still enough, I
He
guess.
wasn't having that.
No, I can imagine, yeah. Yes. How about you, Alex? Anything you've got interesting going on? Your new video's coming out next week, isn't it?
The 200 videos coming out on Friday. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that'll be left out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see how that goes.
I look forward to that one. And your channel's doing really well now. You're not far off the 1,000 subscribers, are you? So
Still a little bit to go, but yeah, it's all right.
It won't be long. You'll be there.
Like the rest of you guys, I've got a relatively small band of people who regularly watch and comment and like and get involved, and that works. That works for me. That's for sure. And the other thing I would say is that when you I was looking at something on the channel, the overall from the 199 videos I've released, the overall likes against dislikes was something like 99% likes.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
So I don't get too much bad mouthing from people, to be fair. But then I got my way to try not to offend folk.
Yeah.
I could do it quite easily, don't you worry. But
and what about you, Andy? Have you got anything interesting coming up or anything happening that we should know about? Or
Nothing planned. Like I said, nothing really until we start our touring. But
I look forward to that.
Tour videos never seem to do. They're probably the hardest to put together.
Yeah.
Because you have so much footage to go through, and they're probably the least viewed.
Yeah.
But I put them up there for various reasons, and for views isn't one of them. It's to look back on and family and friends really. But yeah, nothing really planned at the minute. But no doubt something to crop up.
Brilliant. What about you, Howie? What are you doing next week?
I've got some footage, but I've got not a great deal to put up there. As I say, me and Nigel have been working on a project, so we hopefully maybe in the next couple of weeks or a month or so we might be able to put some up regarding
tired people with all this time on their hands. I don't know.
We're retired. If we've got to work, that's your problem, not mine.
I've got to work to fund my touring addiction.
I don't have to do that. See, I just live. I live my life.
I'll be taking the NT out next week. I'll be giving it a bit more of a spin now the weather's good, and obviously if you've obviously put your clocks forward, so we got lighter nights as well. So I can come home from work at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and have time to go out and have a ride when the weather's
5 o'clock. Bloody night's over by then.
Yeah,
I haven't been home any later than 12:30 all week.
Oh, you lucky person, yeah. Yeah, but I start at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's late enough for me.
I start 4:30. I'm usually at my first job by sort of 6:15, and then I'm done by about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Wow, you're a lucky person, yeah. Brilliant.
That's what paper boys do. They go out at that sort of time, don't they, mate?
That's what I do. I do a paper round.
Wavy line leaflets, is that what you're delivering?
Yeah. Your local curry house is coming through your letterbox, courtesy of me.
Right.
Lovely.
I'm going to go through the list of people who have been on the side chat today. And we've just got Paul Egan's just arrived. right at the very end. But then, but we've had a good stream, and if you missed it,
Evening, Paul.
start from
You
beginning.
can tell the people that haven't put the clocks back, can't you? Because they're coming in now.
They are, yeah. We'll have to wait and see how we can get the numbers up.
Back. I thought they went forward.
Hey, the clocks went forward today, and it's the first lane I've had for nearly a year.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to go through the list. If I've missed anybody at the end of it, give us a shout, and I apologise if anybody has been missed, but it's not intentional. I'll start from the list. I'll go right through the beginning. So today we've had Steve Tomlinson, Steve M109R24, Cavana Honda Rider, that's Dylan, Monkeywood Garage, Away You Go, Steve Tomlinson, Life on Two Wheels, Sick Bastard 71. He was here as well. He popped in for a couple of minutes, I think. Slow Rider, New Biker, Teacher on a Bike. Is that Teacher on a Bike? Is that how you say that? Teacher on a Bike. Exeter Rider, Right Rock Rider, Quick Shoe Sticks, Peaky Biker popped in as well, and Backrod Tourist as well. They're all the people that I've got on my list, and obviously Paul Egan, who's just come in there now, and there he is there. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. We've had the guest we've had today, which is Andy, the GSA Tractor. Thank you for coming in. Do appreciate that. Always a pleasure to see you on the channel. And it's always nice to have different people on the channel. So if anybody wants to come on the channel, just pop us a note and or send an email, and we'll get you on.
Shall I just run down this list quick, Joe, on
You
mine?
can. Yes.
Lee was in Monkeywood Garage.
Yeah.
Life on Two Wheels, as every week he comes in. Cheers. Away you go.
Yep.
It sounds like the bloody Grand National lineup you're reading.
I know.
Well, we're so popular. That's what it is.
And they're under starters orders.
Yeah.
Away You Go is followed by Exeter Rider. Exeter Rider is coming up to Cavern the Honda Rider. Honda Rider.
Yeah. And of course, Tutor, Ron was on the beach in, I presume he's in Spain. I think he was led there in his budgie smugglers.
Oh, God.
I think his comment was budgie smugglers smuggling a very small budgie.
Oh, God. Oh, that
ain't corn in the bird's nest.
White Rock Rider. I think all the others you've already covered. I say Peaky was in when he Bry.
Highway Child. Oh, that's the video, wasn't it?
Noob just arrived.
Noob's been in, hasn't he?
Yeah. And just mention the two videos that we. One was Highway Child, was one of them, and the other one was Backward Tourist, the new video, new channel just started up there.
Definitely sounds like a horse race.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I have enjoyed this stream quite a lot. It's been very interesting, and the chat's been absolutely perfect, spot on. And I want to thank all the guests here. And that's Tojj29, Nige from Tojj29 Motovlogs, Andy from Andy GSA Tractor, and Alex from the Adventure Blue Review, and I forgot your name, Howie from Howie 702. Sorry, I didn't correct your name, but I could say that. Yeah, get the right up here.
Joe, is it worth mentioning that Exeter Rider Steve? He's starting a new job, so good luck to him.
Yes.
Good luck, Stevie. Good luck.
Yeah, we
hope it all works out for you.
Yeah.
The thing is, with things like that, they do turn out right in the end, because people with talent and things like that, they will always get on. No matter what happens, they will find a way to make things work. So
I think things happen for a reason.
They do. Yes, I 100% agree with that. Yeah,
and you've just got to grab it and go with it.
If I stayed on the tools and stayed an engineer all my days, there wouldn't have been the opportunity to make decent money until you moved into the office environment.
Yes,
that type of where you can get promotion and get better money. So good luck, Steve. I'm sure you'll do fine, mate.
It's like my job. I don't understand. I don't do nothing. I work. I get paid for nearly 50 hours a week. I probably work 35 to 40 at the most. I do as little as possible, and they can give me money. They're all fucking mad, if you ask me.
I hope your boss is not watching. I hope your boss is not watching there.
I told my boss one thing. I says I like to be the last in, the first out, and do as little as possible while I'm here.
Are you a councillor by any chance?
I'm a member of Parliament.
Brilliant. All right, guys.
Love
Thank
it.
you to everybody in the side chat and everybody who's contributed to this stream. And I am not going to be on doing any streams for about 2 weeks. So next weekend and the weekend after, I won't be doing a stream personally. But Nige, are you going to be doing a stream? You're going to.
Oh, I expect so. If I can't go a whole week without coming on here and not whinging.
Okay. So what we'll do. So for the next 2 weeks, Nige is going to do a stream from his channel, which is Tojj29. So make sure you check that out and keep
How
in
did you
touch.
come up with the name Todge?
You'll have to
You
go.
standing there naked in the mirror and thought, "I know, I'm going to
You'll
call
have to
it
go
Todge."
and watch Motovloggers Unplugged.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I,
he's
I,
dropped,
It's on at 6 o'clock tonight.
he's
yeah.
dropped a couple of letters. There was an ear on the edge of it.
I learned something. I learned something today when I watched that video with you with on the Motovlogs Unplugged. I learned something about you today. So yeah, that was brilliant.
I'm going to be a watch it once we're finished, Nigel.
Jerry's just come in. Of course,
Hello,
we've now
Jerry.
got the hour difference. haven't
Jerry,
we?
we're all going away, pal.
It's all the hours,
We've
but
got the hour difference.
thank you for popping in, Jerry. We really appreciate you popping in. We obviously like to see you and everything, but that's it's always good to have you popping in on the side chat. So we're going to close the stream, I'm afraid, for today, and I will catch you all the next time. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday for Tojj29, same time.
Good all.
Yeah, stay safe, everyone.
See ya.